it's like been used in teas and stuff for a long time. So I think that the government would be sort of hesitant to, come out of nowhere and say like, oh, we're going to take this plant away from you.
Yeah.
And this is where there's a lot of tension between the legacy kratom folks and like the 7-hydroxy folks, in that they feel that isolating this minor alkaloid or causing it to occur from mitragynine is going to ruin the whole kratom industry for them. They want to preserve this wonderful, holistic, botanical kratom by preventing these newcomers from selling the minor alkaloids.
Yeah. And, to some extent, you can take that argument at face value. To some extent, it's probably people just having turf wars for business and fighting over shelf space.
With truth mixed in with it, which makes it hard to decipher.
Right. Wow. Fascinating. Well, I'm gonna look at that Champs conference and just see what that world even looks like.
I think it would be a really fun trip. I unfortunately can't go to the next one, but I really want to go.
When is it?
Check it out. It's also where you'd find like Delta-8, right? Like
all that stuff. Yep.
I think I saw a post on LinkedIn where like Delta-8 was the thing of 2 years ago, and now it's 7-hydroxy. So this is the new hotness.
Yep. Yep.
And the time right now is super interesting, right? Because there's a lot of folks lobbying for legislative change to get rid of 7-hydroxy. Of course, you got to thread a needle there because there is some 7-hydroxy in your kratom. So then you have to start talking about like, well, what is an appropriate amount? Like, what does nature really make? But of course, just like cannabis, it's kind of variable.
Right.
So like, will the legacy kratom people like limit the amount that can be in there, but then go and breed something that's the new hotness and crosses the line that they created for themselves?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Wow. Yeah, there's so many analogies to the marijuana world, right? You've got the people that are all about the whole plant and it being natural, and then, people start making concentrates, and all of these different little cultures emerge and products, start to sprout up. And it's a never-ending cycle because everyone loves novelty and the new thing. Like every year there's a new cannabis strain of the year. And it sounds like in this world too, it's like everyone is constantly looking for the next thing.
Oh man, it's funny. Like, not me. Like I told you, I've been listening to Fish shows from 2017 for the last week, right? Like I told you, like if you want psychedelics, like why don't you go grow some magic mushrooms?
Yeah.
I read the same books over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, do you do that? You read the same books more than once?
Oh yeah, I've been a really good friend of mine gave me the Count of Monte Cristo at the beginning of the year, and I've just been reading it in circles ever since.
Yeah, I do that too. I don't necessarily intentionally do it, but like I will often go back and read books that I read when I was much younger. And I know that I'm going to absorb it and notice things in a very different way today than I did 5, 10, 15 years ago. I love doing that.
For me, that was Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
Yeah.
When I read it as a young person, I thought that, the father was like this idealistic, stoic, Zen-like philosopher. Reading as a parent, I'm like, dude, like your kid is having like psychological issues and you're like, being a stoic with him, like, give the kid a hug. Like, what's wrong with you? So it's like complete 180 on that book for me.
Wow. What is the Count of Monte Cristo about? Actually, I've never read it, but I've heard about it multiple times.
Oh wow. So it's a really great guy, young person, 19 years old, who is just coming into his career. He's going to get promoted to be a captain on a ship.
And this is like hundreds of years ago?
1800s, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And a beautiful girl is, now that he's going to be the captain of the ship, he can afford to get married to this beautiful girl, and his life is set. But people who are jealous of him and looking to get ahead betray him, and he goes to prison and is tortured for 15 years. During the period of this torture, he encounters a person that basically bestows upon him infinite knowledge through teachings, and then ultimately tells him where there's a treasure, so that when he escapes from prison, he has infinite knowledge and infinite wealth to carry out his revenge. Right? So you have a highly motivated person looking to carry out vengeance with unlimited resources. And then the book is how this, very elaborate plan all unfolds and everything like that. And then, the reason I love the book so much is that still not a good idea, right? Like, which is why I say that, Jesus is the GOAT here, right? In that forgiveness is still the answer. Even if you have unlimited resources and unlimited knowledge, no matter how much somebody has wronged you, forgiveness is really probably the only answer, and that's what the Count of Monte Cristo learns.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to say it almost sounds like a very archetypal or almost biblical story, and the way I've come to understand some of the things that you were just pointing to is, religions are very much related to how society functions and how it's regulated and how it either persists or doesn't. And people always want to get ahead. We're always in competition with each other. People can be very jealous and vengeful. And unless you build in social mechanisms and customs to counteract those tendencies, it leads to like runaway disaster and social disintegration, because people are going to try and one up each other and kill each other and seek vengeance and all that stuff.
Yeah, here's where I really like Alfred Adler. It was like Freud, Adler, and Jung.
The psychologist.
Yeah. To try to go through life with the perspective of loving and respecting everyone as your comrade, right? And you can kind of get there by thinking about like, whoa, like we're on this rock in the middle of freaking nowhere, flying around like this star.